Today we celebrate the Feast of the Conversion of St. Paul, which is a unique feast day because we're not just celebrating St. Paul and the man that he was or all he went on to do for the church, but we're celebrating a pivotal moment in St. Paul's life where he encountered Jesus and experienced deep conversion. I can't help but reflect on the man that St. Paul used to be before this moment. I recently realized that St. Paul, he had a really good dream for his life. Now you might be like, that makes no sense. St. Paul was hunting down the Christians. Bro was involved in the stoning of St. Stephen. He was not a good dude. How could he have had a good dream for his life? Well, hear me out. Let's look at it from St. Paul's perspective. He was a righteous Jewish man. He had a dream of being a leader amongst his people. He had a mission, a vision for his life, a goal that he was striving for. He dreamed of doing the will of God by bringing the Christians to justice under Jewish law. And that sounds like a pretty good dream for his life. But then St. Paul encountered Jesus, and Jesus said, Paul, I have an even bigger dream for your life. And because St. Paul said yes to the Lord's dream for his life instead of sticking with his own good dream, he went on to proclaim the gospel to the far reaches of the earth. His impact on the world is unfathomably vast. And I have to imagine that St. Paul could have never envisioned what his life ended up being on his own. St. Paul's dream for his life, it was good. But the Lord's dream for his life was great. And the same is true of you and me. We might have some good dreams for our lives, but the Lord has even bigger dreams than we can imagine. I had a good dream for my life. I wanted to be a math teacher. I wanted to stay near home, to spend time with friends, to have an impact on the small area of influence that I had in my life. And then I encountered Jesus, and he said, Hannah, I have an even bigger dream for your life. So I said yes to being a missionary with SPO. And here I am 10 years later, and I know in the depths of my heart that I could have never dreamed up my current life on my own. My dream for my life was good, but the Lord's dream for my life was great. He has brought me on such a tremendous adventure. My life is so abundant and rich and joy-filled, even amongst all of the difficult times, and I would never choose differently. So on this, the Feast of the Conversion of St. Paul, my prayer for you is that you would have the courage to say yes to the Lord's dream for your life. The Lord has something big for you, and it's going to be better and more abundant and more joy-filled than you can even imagine. May we have the courage, like St. Paul, to say yes to God's dream for our lives. St. Paul, pray for us.